Today, I want to talk about when it's hard to speak your truth, when it's hard to really say how you feel, stand up for yourself, set a boundary. What is happening when this is going on? What's it really about? What's really under the surface? And how do we make it through when you want to tell the truth, you want to speak your truth, you want to change your life, but you're having a hard time? Stick around, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're back. So a lot of women who come to me do so when they're in a time of change or transition, or maybe they're not even in that time, but they're starting to get an inkling or an idea that they want to make a change, that things are no longer working. They're not satisfied with the job or the relationship or the career, but it feels scary. So here's what I want to say. When we're going through an awakening, when we're going through consciousness evolution in our spirituality and we're waking up to who we really are and our gifts, it is scary. It is groundless. It feels awful, but it's actually very healthy. I find myself telling people all the time, even though this doesn't feel good, it's one of the healthiest things that's ever happened to you. Because when we're born, we fit into the family, we fit into the tribe, we fit into the culture, and we do what we're expected to do. Because otherwise, we are afraid that we would be banished, that we won't be cared for. It is natural that we just kind of adhere to what the group is doing for our survival and to learn the way, right? And then when we grow spiritually and we begin to turn on different layers of our etheric, different layers of our chakra, when we're getting more light coming into our body, more spiritual information, this causes us to grow. It sends us into a growth phase. And that growth phase does not always feel good, and it doesn't feel comfortable. And what happens is that old patterns, feelings, thoughts can come to the surface, and you might think, I thought I've already managed this. I thought I already healed this. But it's new layers coming to the surface, ready to be healed. So it's coming up to be released. It's coming up to be healed. And then so often what happens is that women who are coming to me, the same thing that's going on around this time is a throat chakra, fifth chakra, blue energy lit up is what we say in the psychic world, that they're lit up around that chakra. Because when we start to open our heart and we start to really feel our truth about who we are and what we desire and what we really want, the next step is to begin to speak that truth out loud, to share that with others, to share our creativity, to express ourselves. And this also looks like setting boundaries. So that's when you start to get those inklings, those whispers from spirit that say, tell the truth, put your cards on the table. You don't want to do that. You don't like this relationship anymore. You don't want this job. But we get afraid, we get fearful, we're not sure if it's our mind or if it's our guidance. We begin to question ourselves. But the truth is that that's a very important step in our spiritual growth and evolution, is finding the courage and the bravery to just validate, this is what keeps coming up, this is what I'm feeling, and speaking it out loud. When we can take baby steps, admitting it to ourselves, admitting it to our journal, and then eventually admitting it to other people, this changes things. And it's scary because we don't want to rock the boat. We are programmed from our past that the last time we were seen, it didn't go very well. Or the last time we rocked the boat, it didn't go very well. We have a lot of cultural programming that says, put your head down, do your work, don't stand out, and don't be seen. But part of spiritual evolution and growth is being seen. Because in this life, you're going to be okay. So you have to begin to speak your truth to others. So start with baby steps. Start small. Speak about it to yourself. Write about it in a journal. Give yourself permission to at least get it out of your body and onto the page. Let your nervous system say it. Let yourself see it. So often we make it such a big deal. that we can't even try it on for size, that we can't even say we want something because the implications feel too heavy. And we need to get away from that. We need to give ourselves permission to be like, well, what if I do want this? What does that feel like? Well, let me write this down. I want to divorce my husband. I want to leave this relationship. I want to change my career. Let me sit with that. Let me look at it. Let me get it out of me and onto the page. That is a vital step. Why don't we do this? Why do we resist? Well, I've already said there's a lot of programming, right? But also we have to understand that we are working with our ego, and the ego always wants to go the predictable, safe route. The ego wants to know what's around the corner because that's how it can keep you safe. So if you're going to make a change, if you're going to transform your life, the ego does not like that. That is annihilation to the ego. It says, no, warning, certain catastrophe, don't do it. So it's going to stop you and block you. Your subconscious, your unconscious, your fear from the past is going to say, halt, don't make a change, everything's okay, keep it as it is. But that's not true. The truth is that any kind of transformation, any kind of great change takes courage, takes risk, takes being uncomfortable. So allow yourself to sit with how it feels. Allow yourself to play with the idea. Allow yourself to write it down and just understand what's happening when you feel afraid. It's your ego. Your ego is saying, don't do that. I can't predict it. I can't keep you safe if you make that change. But that ego is also developed from a child. It's a child's perspective. It's the little girl or the little boy in you who developed that habit to keep you safe. And now you're trying to transform that, and you can talk to that child. This is inner child work. I'm here now. I'm the adult. I'm in the driver's seat, and I've got this, and you're going to be okay. I know it feels scary, right? Whisper all those sweet nothings that your child would have wanted to hear in those scary moments in your childhood and never got to hear. Literally journal it out. Literally meditate and sit with your little child inside and say, I'm here. I've got you. I love you. Because what we do is we let the wounded part of us, the ego part of us, the little child, get in the driver's seat and drive the car. And then we end up in relationships that don't work, things that don't go well, because it's a child's perspective and we let a child take over the driver's seat. And when we are growing spiritually and we are healing our trauma and ego and patterns from the past, the adult, mature, present self has to come to the forefront, put the child in the back, take the wheel, tell the child you've got this. I know you needed to do that for us to survive. I know you've kept us alive. I am here now. You're no longer alone. You're safe, and I've got you, okay? This is what we have to do. It's profound, it's deep, it's wise, it's healing, it's layers, it's process, it's an onion peeling. And it's the healthiest thing that has ever happened to us because we as a human species are awakening. We are having more light come into this planet. We are having these sun solar flares. We are having consciousness raising. We are in the 5D. We have moved into a higher dimension. We are evolving consciousness. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and this is what it looks like to awaken and to heal. So keep on keeping on. You're doing great.